The guardsmen will get their supplies now.
Captain Titus, you are a man of your word, my lord. Thank you.
What is your situation, Lieutenant?
We're gathering our wounded and are heading to the Andres habitation block to establish an outpost. With the cannon down, our support craft will land there.
Very well. My battle brothers and I must secure any operational Warlord-class Titans before the Orcs can loot them.
Good luck.
Well, hey everybody, welcome back to more Space Marine. I'm still Negroth. Today I have with me a special guest, DatonKallandor?
Yes,
Or
that's exactly right.
hooray!
Nice to be here.
Yeah. So we've just blown up the cannon, so all the PDF ships will be fine, and we have been greeted with this very large open area, and well, I mean, it's pretty much empty. I don't know why. I think I remember reading a few reviews and people saying like, "Oh, I think I ran into a bug. I ran into an area with no enemies." And well, I mean, there's enemies here. It's just, well, they're not very offensive.
Yeah, they just ran into a bad piece of design.
Yeah, I guess it might be due to what we'll be seeing coming up as we continue through the area. Or it might be because the cannon's been destroyed, so they're just kind of confused. It's really hard to say, but you know, when you have about 20 or 30 orcs that could turn around and face you and fight in what appears to be a pretty large, you know, this looks like an arena, pretty much.
Yeah, it does look like it was intended for a boss fight that never happened.
Yeah, especially when there's like boxes of ammunition
Yes.
and grenades. You don't ever use them.
I think one box gives you a 50% ammo refill, so having more than 2 boxes seems like overkill.
I think one of them was a box of grenades and one of them was ammo. But yeah, I mean, this train station really gives you a real sense of scale. Like I know I've been talking about scale and size pretty much on and off for quite a few videos, but really, I mean, that's one of the big selling points for the game was just, you know, really getting us across that sense of everything in the 40k universe is pretty well huge.
Yes, and priceless and irreplaceable. Most of it.
Minus what we destroy.
Like that cannon.
Yeah,
They can probably never build another one.
Did the lieutenant not say?
Oh, it's for the greater good. Not that I know of any particular race that talks about a greater good.
Yes.
Yes, but yeah, we just actually heard probably one of the first real 40k Ultramarine specific pieces of, you know, flavor text, I suppose, when they mentioned Guilliman. And what's really odd is the fact that pretty much no one freshly playing this game or really getting into 40k will have any idea who Guilliman is.
Yeah.
Like, that just makes you think they maybe should have included some kind of general encyclopedia you could access from like the main menu or something.
Now that would be a good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, just to give a quick rundown, Guilliman is the Primarch of the Ultramarines, and he was mostly known for being a pretty great strategist, I think.
Yes, and the city planner.
Yeah, I think you were saying that his home, the Ultramarine home planet was Macragge.
Yeah.
It was actually like pretty well constructed and built.
Yeah, not just their home planet, but their entire area of space, several planet systems, and everything well populated, lots of forge worlds, very little internal military problems.
Yeah, as opposed to something like, you know, like the Space Wolves planetary system.
Their space wolves are pretty much very close to the Eye of Terror.
Yeah. Well, they're also very shamanistic and simpler people.
Yes.
They
you
don't,
could say
they,
that.
Well, I mean, when they have shamans dressing up as wolves and channeling like wolf spirits and shit like that.
Yeah, casting bone runes to see the future.
Yeah, casting bone wall and summoning up golems. And
Well, they don't do that, I guess.
I know, that's a different game.
Yes.
But yeah, just another very important audio log from the wonderful medical staff on Graya, I suppose. They are, well, this woman still comes across as a dick, but I guess she was a part of another orc invasion, and I guess it kind of left her a bit bitter.
Yeah. I
Even
guess
though
they're trying to make it clear that orc invasions happen a lot. So this is not an isolated incident.
Yeah, but she does bring up something that I don't think I've ever really heard brought up, was that she makes it seem like all of the orc choppas have like this poison on it. And I've never really heard that, but you know, I guess maybe it's just like a tetanus for the future or something.
Possibly. Maybe there's some weird orc things with open wounds since they do shed spores all the time.
Like you become with it infected with the spores and you slowly become like a were-orc.
I don't think you become a were-orc, but I can imagine having orc fungus grow in your open wounds is not healthy.
Maybe if you got like a cut on your neck and some orc spores landed there, it could grow like an orc head, and you could have like a really funny buddy comedy with like an Imperium guardsman
See,
and an orc
an
head.
orc head growing there would not be out of place for orcs.
And
I
it,
can
like, tells you
imagine.
what to do.
I can imagine that happening with orcs because they are really weird, and they do perform surgery by just cutting something off and sewing it on somewhere else, and then
Yeah,
you're fine.
Pretty much, whenever your race's doctor is called Pain Boys, it's pretty much a good idea never to go to them.
Yes, and there's some more bomb squigs.
Yeah, this area can actually really catch you off guard if you're just rushing through, because yet again there are about 6 bomb squigs all kind of running out of like little enclosures and alcoves, and
Yeah.
if you're rushing through, you're just gonna get blown up and die.
Yes.
Thankfully, the train was nice enough to wait for us, which I guess I should explain. There's a battering ram, and we have to stop it from,
Time to impact!
I think they call it the Manufactorium Ajax,
Yes.
where the Titan is being housed. So
Because orcs like big guns, and the Titan has pretty big guns, so they want to have it.
pretty much, and I mean, what there, as you can assume, you know, to get the Titan out, they have to have a really big door, and they probably have like a really big lock on said door.
Yes.
So, what better way to get rid of that really big door than with a huge battering ram?
More DACA, but I guess they don't have more DACA, so they're gonna have to use the battering ram.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, they don't really they don't really give a good idea of the orcs using the available items on the Forge World to really create more weapons for themselves.
Yes, the orcs usually don't. Well, some orc clans do, but generally speaking, orcs don't like to loot technology and use it straight away because it doesn't have enough DACA. It's not loud enough.
Yeah. Well, I assume they could probably, like, with the sheer amount of guns and stuff and vehicles that should be on the Forge World, they should be able to make something. But yeah, as far pretty much you just see kind of the same generic shooters and choppas pretty much all across the board.
That's true. I don't know if Flash Boys show up later. They could be using some looted weaponry.
No, they have what will be like a knob with a combi gun, but they never really get bigger than that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's basically a shooter and a rocket launcher in the same thing, except
Which is pretty nice for a gun.
yeah, and it's very accurate, especially in comparison to the rocket boys we have been seeing.
Well, orc rocket launchers launch 3 missiles at the same time, and they're pretty much unguided.
Definitely. There's all. I remember seeing a model though. They had kind of this guidance system they could put in, which was just a Gretchen,
Yes.
that they would force to sit on the rocket. Because, well, obviously the Gretchen is probably not going to survive when that rocket lands. So they give a lot of bullshit jobs to Gretchens.
Yes, like
a
being ammo. There's actually a gun that fires Gretchens through the warp.
yeah. What? Can't they like be shot into people and they'll like
Yeah.
eat their way out?
Yeah, they
Or I
they
thought-
teleport a Gretchen into an enemy.
I thought those were squigs though. Like it was like a squig launcher.
Oh, is it a squig?
Yeah, I think it's a squig because
It probably is a squig, yeah.
A squig would be a little bit more
Fighty?
fighty and munchy
Yeah.
than a Gretchen.
That is probably
Gretchen-
correct.
Gretchen would probably just get confused and get digested. Because they usually seem pretty subservient. But, hey, it's a boss fight. That's pretty dull. Yeah, this is dull. But, you know, it's our... would you call this a mini-boss or like an actual boss?
I would call it an actual boss, just because it doesn't show up that often. And is really tough.
I do think... Yeah, and I do think this is the end of the first part. Like, I think this is like chapter 6 and the end of part 1. So yeah, I guess it would be a boss. But I mean, yeah, this is. I think you were saying this is probably the drop ship that dropped off the knob a couple updates ago.
Yeah, your first knob.
Yeah. Thankfully now it has like an endless supply of knobs apparently.
Yeah, but now you also have a plasma cannon.
Yeah, we really won't be seeing the plasma cannon that much at all during normal gameplay because for people that play multiplayer, you know that the plasma cannon is basically instant death to everything,
Yes.
including yourself.
It is a rapid firing area of effect cannon, which you can fire on the move.
Pretty much. I will highly recommend never using the overcharge or the charge shot because, especially against this thing, you probably won't hit it.
Yes, the charge shot flies much slower
Yeah,
and gets caught on cover.
Yeah, even though like this dropship's pattern is fairly easy to figure out, it's still just really difficult to connect with the charge shot.
Yes.
But yeah, the cover in this area is just, it's not that helpful.
No.
And as you can see, like, if I was playing on hard, I would pretty much be dead by now.
Yes, you would be. I think hard you could take about 50% more damage, would be a guess.
And I would be playing on hard if it put in more enemies, but it doesn't.
Yes.
It just makes the enemies longer and more annoying to deal with, so...
It is a really big missed opportunity to not have more enemies.
Especially after, like, the trailers they showed. But, yeah, it's dead. So, hooray for destroying another piece of Imperium equipment, right?
I don't think that's Imperium equipment.
I think the train was.
Well, yes, the train was. The
But-
gunship is definitely Orc.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Dayton, for joining me. We'll see you next time on Space Marine.
My pleasure.